Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a book review on the Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick. The Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick follows Pat Peoples, who has been released from a mental health facility. Pat likes to look on the bright side, be an optimist, and look for the silver lining in everything. He looks at his life like a movie. Though things may be bad now, they will turn out better in the end. But now that Pat has returned home, he doesn't understand why no one talks to him about the things that he missed, and most importantly, why his parents won't allow him to reunite with his estranged wife. The only person who seems to be honest with him is a girl named Tiffany, who has her own share of mental health problems. Pat comes to realize that life isn't like a movie, but he is determined to discover what happened prior to entering the hospital and get his old life back. So as you can see, I have the movie cover edition of this book. I have seen the movie starring Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence. I freaking love that movie, you guys, and I loved this book just as much. Now, you do need to be aware, book and movie, though they do have a lot of similarities, they do have quite a lot of differences as well. I was quite surprised with a lot of the differences from book to screen, but I kind of found myself going, you know what, that's okay, because I love the movie for being the movie, and I love the book for being the book. So yeah, let's just put it this way. I love both equally. They're both fantastic. Seriously, I'm about to gush about this book, you guys. And I think what I loved so much about this book was just how real it was, I suppose. The characters felt so real and believable. The plot felt so real and believable. The situations felt so real and believable. Just every little thing about this book, I feel like, even if I couldn't necessarily relate to it, I feel like there are people out there that could definitely relate to this. And another very special thing about this book is how humorous it is, you guys. This book is so freaking hilarious. I found myself laughing numerous occasions. And the thing is, I remember the movie. I was laughing a lot during the movie as well. And yeah, the funny thing about this book, you know, it's about mental health, and you would almost think, now wait a minute, why is that funny? Because mental health is not a funny thing, but just the way Pat is depicted, you know, that's what I was saying, just life, how life in this book is depicted, how he is depicted, how his illness is depicted. It's real, you guys, just absolutely real. And yeah, with that comes this sense of humor, if that makes sense. And the thing is, despite it being so hilarious, never did I feel like it was making fun of people with mental illness. You know what I mean? It never felt like Matthew Quick was making fun of people like that or mocking people like that. Just the way the humor is in this book and how it associates with the mental illness, it comes across as very genuine, I think. And I also really loved the pacing of this book. Never once was I bored or uninterested. There was just always something going on, some event in Pat's life or some new crisis in Pat's life. And what I loved most about this book was obviously the characters, Pat especially. I just loved Pat as a human being. Like I said, the word that comes to mind with this book is real, just how real and raw it felt. Pat felt like a real human being. I could sympathize with him, I could understand him. I loved his sense of humor, as wacky as it was at times. And yeah, with his sense of humor, he's not very politically correct. Let's put it that way. And that's kind of what I liked about him as well. Pat does not hold back with what he's thinking and what his thoughts are, his feelings. You know, he does not hold back. And sometimes Pat can be a little offensive, but it's kind of okay, because that's where a lot of the humor comes in. And I loved Pat so much. I loved being in his point of view. I found myself by the end of this book going, oh man, the book is over. I could spend a couple more 100 pages with this guy and just listen to his stories. And I haven't talked about the character of Tiffany yet. Tiffany comes into Pat's life pretty much right when he needs her. He initially doesn't like her, he thinks she's a nuisance, but Pat and Tiffany, over the course of the novel, they just develop this really fascinating relationship. And at first she can't, you know, because Pat doesn't like her, you as the reader almost don't like her, but yeah, you start to learn more about her, you start to sympathize with her. And like with Pat, Tiffany is very real and relatable. And another huge part of this novel is about football, you guys. And let's be real, I'm not a football person, okay? I really don't like football. I don't watch it. I don't get it. I don't get what the interest is in regards to football. Okay, the things I find interesting, I love reading and I love watching TV and movies. So yeah, at first I was like, oh god, am I going to be able to get through all of the stuff that deals with football? And weirdly enough, I liked a lot of the chapters that did deal with football. Pat, the character, he really likes the Eagles football team. And so there's a lot of plot points that revolve around football and Pat's love of the Eagles and how he can either relate or not relate to other people depending on if they love the Eagles as just as much as he does. And yeah, Pat, his love of football, it's also his way to try to connect to his father because his father loves the Eagles as well. So yeah, there's a lot of that father-son dynamic that's very, very heavy and present in this novel, which is just utterly fascinating. Because, yeah, Pat's been in a mental health facility for a very, very long time, so of course he and his father have grown apart and grown distant. There is an estrangement there, and yeah, football is the one thing that helps to bring them together. So I really enjoyed all of the chapters that dealt with any sort of football scene. They really added to the narrative, they never slowed the narrative down, and yet they were really vital and important to Pat's development as a character and kind of this symbolism in a way of what's going on in his head at times. So overall, I definitely recommend this novel if you guys have not picked it up yet, and I also recommend the movie if you've not watched the movie yet. I love the book and the movie so much, you guys. And yeah, this book, there's just something so clever about it, just really clever and humorous, but it does have those heartbreaking, heartwarming moments. And like I kept saying, this book, there's just something that feels so realistic about it. The characters, the story, just the things that are going on. In some way you can relate to it, I think. And yes, a big point, you guys, if you are looking for a book that, to me, I felt was never degrading to mental health, you know, that's a thing. If you're looking for a book that kind of looks at mental health in a rather positive way, it's not degrading or mocking, I think you will definitely enjoy this book as well. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. In the comments below, have you guys read the Silver Linings Playbook? Just let me know. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.